Less stress, income higher, work the house, not the buyer. One of the things that really distinguishes what we teach power agents always is there's two ways to work with buyers. You can take a buyer out and you show them 10 houses, or you can take one house and you show it 10 times. Now, which is better? To take one buyer out and show them 10 houses, or to take one house, show it 10 times? You all would say the second, to take one house and show it 10 times. But for some reason, that's not what we do. What we do is we have buyers run us around ragged, and we become chauffeurs for buyers by showing them house after house. You know, when you think about it, again, same concept here is, I don't know of any industry. If I go to a car dealer and I want to buy a car, and I walk into that dealership and say, I want to buy a car, here's my price range, here's what I'm looking for. And then the salesperson says, okay, great. Here, let's hop into my car and let me bring you from dealership to dealership to dealership. They don't do that. What they do is they say, well, here's our inventory, and they show their inventory. You know, for some reason, real estate's the only place where we work the customer by chauffeuring them around, as opposed to the customer coming to the product. So if you ever think, any of you have been in real estate for a while, you know what I'm talking about. If you went to an open house or you saw a new listing come out and say, damn, this is a hot house, this house is going to sell quickly, what did you do? You called your buyers and you say, you got to come out and see this one house. You didn't call your buyer and say, I want to show you another 5 houses. No, you said, listen, a house just came out. This thing's going to sell quickly. Come out right away. By the way, bring your checkbook. And you might have called 2 or 3 buyers. What you did was you worked the house. You didn't work the buyer. You worked the house until you sold it. Now, in today's market where listing inventory is so low, everything's a shiny penny pretty much. So what you want to do is that every morning, here's what you should be doing, gang. 2 things when it comes to buyers. And then I'm going to go on to the next question. We had Ben in just a minute. And then Candace, I'll come to you. There's 2 things that you should do. Number 1 is with buyers, you should get buyer agency agreements. And if a buyer is not willing to sign the agreement, I'm not saying you won't ever call them. You'll file them, but I wouldn't put any time and energy into it, because if they're not willing, listen, any buyer that doesn't sign a buyer agency agreement in the beginning of your relationship, they're already promising to not work with you exclusively. They're already promising you that they're going to look on their own. They're promising you up front that you could do all this work and they still may not buy from you. Why in God's name would you do that? So number 1 is get buyer agency agreements with people. And if they give you that commitment, then you give the commitment back and you will invest time and money to serve them and help them. Number 2 is if they don't sign a buyer agency agreement, you still take down their information. Say, well, listen, what I'll do is I'll keep you my Rolodex. If something comes out in your price range, I'll give you a call, but I won't be scheduling a whole bunch of appointments with you, because that's not how you want to work. You want to work by chauffeuring and looking at houses. I need to just put you in my file. When I see something I think will work for you, I'll let you know. And that's what you do. When a house comes out every morning, here's the second thing you should do. Every morning you should check the MLS, see all the new listings that came out. And if you see something that's a hot house and it's sell quickly, I want you to think of all the buyers in your price range and show those buyers, call those buyers, say, listen, you still looking? You got to come out and see this one house. I think this thing's going to sell very quickly. By the way, bring your checkbook. There's a motto I want you guys to live by. This was one of the secrets to my success and that of my office when I used to run my office. Less stress, income higher, work the house, not the buyer. Less stress, income higher, work the house, not the buyer. When you find a house that comes out, call your buyers in the price range. Don't worry about styles. Don't worry about bedrooms or baths. Just price. Because we always know buyers don't always buy what they say they're going to buy. So we're going to work the house. All right.